In the NBA right now, there's a good amount of teams with a big 3 or even a big 4. But either way, you can still usually tell who the top 2 guys on any team are. So we're going to be ranking the best 2 players from each team, 30 being the worst and number 1 being the best. Now let's start with number 30, Dennis Schroeder and Taurean Prince. I didn't even know who to put for this one. I mean, there's not really any argument. Number 29, Dirk Nowitzki and Harrison Barnes. Barnes is a solid player, but he doesn't seem like he's the best leader, and Dirk's nowhere near as good as he used to be. And none of this matters anyways because they're tanking. Number 28, D'Angelo Russell and Jeremy Lin. They're both solid players that are on about the same level skill-wise right now when Lin's healthy. Brooklyn's got some good, young, solid players, but their team still sucks. Number 27, Aaron Gordon and Nikola Vucevic. Aaron Gordon had a pretty good year this past season. Him and Vucevic played pretty good together, and even though they have a young team, they're in the same boat as Brooklyn. But for now, they're still only number 27. Number 26, Zach Randolph and Buddy Hield. Zach Randolph has got to be one of the most unathletic NBA players alive, but somehow he's still hanging in there. I wanted to put De'Aaron Fox in his spot, but I don't think Fox had as good of a year as he hoped he would. And there's no arguing that anyone else on the Kings is better than Buddy Hield right now. Number 25, Devin Booker and Josh Jackson. Booker averaged just about 25 points a game this past season. He's definitely going to be one of the league's top players one day. And Josh Jackson had a decent rookie season, but they're definitely still the worst team in the league right now. Number 24, Lauri Markkanen and Zach LaVine. Both these guys average 15 points a game, and they're both going to be absolute stars in the NBA one day, but the list is based on their skill level now, so this is where they're at. Number 23, Kyle Kuzma and Brandon Ingram. Not only were these 2 guys the best players on LA this year, but I'd bet money that these 2 have the brightest futures out of any Laker right now. Number 21, Kristaps Porzingis and Tim Hardaway Jr. Porzingis is the next Dirk, and Tim Hardaway Jr. is the next Tim Hardaway. No, get it, because he's... But seriously, these 2 guys get better every year, and I don't think they're anywhere near their potential yet. Number 20, DeAndre Jordan and Lou Williams. DeAndre's a great center, but he's pretty limited to anything within 2 feet of the basket. But Lou Williams, on the other hand, is definitely about to be your 6th man of the year and should have been an all-star. Number 19, Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond. I expected big things from the Pistons after Blake Griffin got traded there, and then I looked at the rest of their roster. Number 18, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. Jokic is on his way to definitely becoming a superstar, and there's a chance the other spot could have gone to Paul Millsap, but since he was injured for most of the season, and Jamal Murray played pretty good, the spot goes to him. Number 22, Mike Conley and Marc Gasol. The Grizzlies had a solid team, and these guys played great together for a while, but this past season, Mike Conley got injured, their team was terrible, and they had one of the worst records in the league. Number 17, Dwayne Wade and Goran Dragic. I wanted to give Dragic his spot to Hassan Whiteside, but from the looks of it, he's not going to be there too much longer, because apparently Eric Spoelstra doesn't know how to use him. But that's alright, because Dwayne Wade has kinda looked like his old self, and Goran Dragic is still a great player. Number 16, Victor Oladipo and Lance Stevenson. You got one of the biggest surprises in the 2017 and 18 season in Victor Oladipo, who looks like his career is just really getting started, and probably the most entertaining NBA player to watch in Lance Stevenson. Number 15, Kemba Walker and Dwight Howard. There's not too much to say here. For most of Kemba's career, he hasn't been able to take it to the next level, and even after being combined with Dwight Howard, nothing's changed. Number 14, Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. Mitchell's got a great case for Rookie of the Year, and Gobert's got his great case for Defensive Player of the Year. And not only did they surprise people and lead Utah into the playoffs, but they even made it to the second round. Number 13, Bradley Beal and John Wall. They are one of the best backcourts in the league. They both got selected for the All-Star team, but I can't get over the fact that no matter how good they play, they haven't been able to get much further than the first round. It just seems like they're having the same season over and over again. Number 12, Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge. A guy that's capable of being an MVP and one of the league's best power forwards should definitely be higher on the list, but seeing as Kawhi Leonard's probably leaving the Spurs this offseason, I had to leave him out of the top 10. But if Kawhi's relationship with the Spurs was good and everything was fine, they'd probably be in the 4th or 5th spot. Now it's starting to get a little tricky. Number 11, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. You've got two guys on the same team that have the chance to be the top 2 most dominant players in the NBA one day. That's if they stay healthy. But they could really be all-time greats. I mean, Embiid's a complete package for a center, and Simmons is a 6'10" point guard. Number 10, Jimmy Butler and Karl Anthony Towns. It almost could have been Wiggins and Towns, but Butler's got him beat. Jimmy's a great player, but an even better defender. And then that combined with Towns' dominance on the inside, they're definitely one of the top duos in the league without a doubt. Number 9, Russell Westbrook and Paul George. I think it's safe to say that these guys are both probably top 10 players in the league, but their run together hasn't panned out how they or a lot of other people hope so. Now personally, I think that has to do a lot with Carmelo not being willing to come off the bench, but that's a different conversation. Separately on a list of best players in the league, Westbrook would probably be a lot higher, and Paul George would probably be in the same spot, but as for this list, they're number 9. Number 8, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton. A lot of people thought that Giannis was going to be the MVP this year, and it started to look like it at first. But he's still one of the top guys in the league, but the man desperately needs to learn how to shoot. And then on his side, you got the 6'10 shooting guard in Chris Middleton, who's one of the most underrated players in the league. Number 7, Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. Whether people want to admit it or not, Dame's one of the top 5 point guards in the league, and he's held Portland on his back for years. As a team, they've been getting better every year, and together they make a great duo. They're one of the NBA's best backcourts, and I think they're just a couple more good players away from being able to show what they can really do in the playoffs. Number 6, Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward. Now I know it's weird to put them here when they haven't played a single full game together, but in my eyes, Kyrie Irving's a future MVP, and Hayward's a proven all-star. So with the team that they have now, when these two guys get back, I think that's definitely a championship team. Number 5, Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. These guys are a great combination of players. They play off each other and make each other better, except for in the playoffs.
When the world needed him most, he vanished.
They always end up in the top 2 or 3 seeds in the East, but they either got to add a third star, or it might be time to break that team up. Number 4, Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins. Davis is a future MVP, and Cousins is the best center in the league. So there's no telling how dominant they'd be in the playoffs if Cousins was healthy. They're without a doubt the best front court the NBA has seen in a long time. They play together a lot better than I thought they would, and it's going to be real exciting to see just how good they'll be once Cousins gets back. Number 3, LeBron and Kevin Love. This one's not too much of a surprise. Kevin Love wouldn't make it too high on this list if he wasn't paired up with LeBron, but since he is, this is where they're at. I mean, LeBron's the best player in the world right now, while on the other hand, Kevin Love's always been great, but he can also be inconsistent. Number 2, James Harden and Chris Paul. Pretty much nobody thought this combo would work, but it turns out that they're one of the best combinations in the NBA. They got themselves the best record in the league, and they're doing work in the playoffs. You've got an all-time great point guard with most likely this year's MVP. If it was up to me, these two guys would stay together for a long time. And number 1, Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. There's no real explanation needed here. You got the best point guard in the league and the second best player in the entire world on one team. And that might sound unfair, because it is. And that's all 30 NBA teams ranked. And of course, not everyone's going to agree with everything on this list. So comment your thoughts and let me know. And also comment down below if you want to see more ranking videos like this one. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next video.